Welcome to Ladies Talking Business. On this show, we break down the concept of business to its simplest form. I am Moremi Akano. Our guest today is the founder and lead instructor at Dolphin Swim School and Dolphin Aquatic Center. She is a sports development advocate with a passion for fostering positive change in the sports industry in Africa. Her mission is to help develop the sports industry in Nigeria by partnering with the right stakeholders to help build sustainable sport businesses. She is a board member at Lagos Swimming Association and also a member of the United States Swim School Association. She is Aderoju Ope-Ajayi. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much, Moremi. I'm excited to be here.
Yay,
thank you.
Thanks. I know we had a lot of back and forth, but
Yes.
we're here finally.
We made it.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Let's talk about running a swim school.
Yes.
I mean, in Nigeria. I mean, it's not a hotel or a catering business. It's a swim school.
Yeah.
How has the experience been like?
You know, it's been very interesting. Interesting good and interesting bad.
I can imagine.
Especially because it's a niche business, you know. So we find that when I even introduce myself and I say, oh, I'm a swim instructor, people are like, you just see that, expression on their face like, what exactly is she saying? What do you mean by that? And but so far it's been very good because again, it's a niche business. We're the first of its kind in Nigeria. It's I think we are facing the challenges that every normal business in Nigeria faces. Then on top of that, because again, it's not something that is common.
Yeah.
So you find a lot of questions, a lot of people doubting. We have a lot of skeptics. A lot of people saying, what this thing, how does it work? There's a lot of, questions that come with, introducing yourself that, you run a swim school. But then there's also a lot of curiosity. There's a lot of attention that you get, from running such businesses. So again, a mix of both good and bad, interesting.
I can imagine.
Yes.
Okay, so talking about sports.
Yeah.
I know you're into sports, and
Yes.
I mean, you've been in sports for a long time, but let's talk about developing the industry.
Yes.
In your opinion, how can we develop this sport industry in Nigeria?
So there's a lot to do. I believe most importantly is having the right people in the right places, having funding, and having the right infrastructure. All these things are like the keys. They're like the building blocks to having a robust sports industry in Nigeria. Right now, when you talk about sports in Nigeria, people automatically think football or athletics. But there's a myriad of, different sports that are available. So we just need to be able to, build on these things. Let the right people that know what they're doing be in the right places. Then they can then push good policies, government policies that would help build, the sports industry. So they can even make the business, attractive, for investors to come, and then they will come, bring their money and build infrastructure. Because where there's infrastructure, then people would come and participate, and then the sports is being built.
I know there are a lot
developed.
of talented people in Nigeria.
So
and
many.
I discovered that when I went to the National Stadium.
Yes.
You see all manner of sports
Yes.
and activities. You
Yes.
see all manner of people
Yes.
getting involved. And I'm like, why don't we even know these people exist?
Exactly,
So
because-
talking about that, what changes need to be made?
So again, like those people, they don't have any representation. Or even if they do, it's very minimal. There's nobody speaking on their behalf. There's nobody saying, oh, have you been to this? Have you seen this person? And, most of them, sometimes they have to wait until they blow before, they're getting somebody's attention. Right. So what we just need, again, maybe I'm sounding like a broken record, right people in the right places, infrastructure. So imagine National Stadium. Imagine there are several national stadiums across the state or across Nigeria. I'm sure if you went to National Stadium from the island, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So imagine if there's a similar national stadium on the island where people don't necessarily have to travel far. So
yeah.
scouts can even come and be like, okay, I'm in this location, I'm seeing this, let me go to other locations. But there's no infrastructure.
Yeah, talking about infrastructure, I mean, it's not like I want to bash anybody, but even the National Stadium, you're wondering why it's in the state it is.
Yeah,
How would people function properly?
Yeah.
In that state?
As a member of the Lagos State Swimming Association, we are tasked with, trying to develop swimming in the state, part of the things that we struggle with is infrastructure. How many swimming pools are there that are functional, that are not green, that you go safely? I know that if I enter this water and I come out, my skin will remain the way it, do you understand what I mean? So those are the issues that even stop development. Because when you think of sending your child to a pool, and you're not even sure of the state of the pool, you won't send the child. Even if the child is like a Michael Phelps kind of, or, a very avid swimmer, you won't. Because you're not sure. You're like, okay, you know what? I'd rather not protect your health than exposing you to something that I can't even vouch for.
I agree. Yeah. And I was going to talk about why you think there are fewer private-owned businesses, but I think we've kind of spoken about it. So do you think these factors are responsible for us not having private-owned sport businesses in Nigeria?
Yes, because again, the barrier to entry is high. Yes, it is. So imagine with what I do, we have to get training, because for me, you have to be trained world-class standard. You cannot do things the Nigerian way. Because then you're going to put people in trouble. Imagine doing swimming the Nigerian way and somebody goes into the water and and someone goes in and they drown and something bad happens because the instructor is poorly trained. So that training alone costs money. And then finding the suitable locations costs money. And then the equipment costs money. However, you can make your money back. It's a viable industry. And I think we just need to be able to have these conversations and encourage people to come in and even try it out. But again, people are also looking for get-rich-quick schemes. So maybe sports is just like, I don't know about this thing, man. Do you understand what I mean? But it's also important to, tell it as it is. Like, for instance, our business is viable, but it takes time. You need to put in the work, and then you start reaping the fruits of your labor, more or less.
People need to be sure that you actually deliver what you say you deliver.
Exactly. So, those are the barriers to, entry, high cost of starting up, and, just the training and getting things done properly. But again, it can be done. It can be done.
We will be back for more conversations with our guests after the break. Thanks for staying with us. You are watching Ladies Talking Business on PlusTvAfrica with our guest, Aderoju Ope-Ajayi, a sports development advocate. So, Roger, let's talk about female participation in sport.
Yes.
Will you say that there's been an increase in female participation in Nigeria?
Good question. I think it's relative.
Okay.
Because there are sports that females dominate.
Like?
Wrestling. If you notice, maybe in the Olympics and all that, a lot of medals come from the female wrestlers. Yeah. Somewhat in athletics, and then very minimal in other places. But again, when we talk about female participation, do we even allow our female folk participate in sports? So there's so many social and cultural barriers that stop people from going and following their passion. From them saying, do you want to start looking like a man with your muscles? I'm telling you.
To what they wear, to what you want to expose yourself.
Yes, exactly, to what they wear. I get it all the time in swimming. How
do you cope with that?
Well, so again, I think that's why we do what we do, my business particularly, because we're female focused. Okay. So we teach women and children, and we're all female. We're female instructors. Okay. So it's more comfortable. So in fact, we have kind of like broken down all the cultural and social barriers that might come up. Because again, people are very conscious of their body. African women are very conservative. We might think we are not, but we actually are. We can be, right? Because, some are like, oh, no, I need to be comfortable with my instructor. Because again, you're wearing a skin tight, swimsuit. Yeah. So you want to be sure that whoever you're with knows that and is very carefully handling you. And, not just, you're not thinking, did someone just touch me inappropriately? Yeah. So, yes, of course, that. And also just, encouraging the girl child. So the girl child wants to play football. You're saying them, go ahead and play football and not go for a female sports. There are some sports that unconsciously there's a bias around. This is what, it's for women, maybe gymnastics or, I don't even know, the stuff like that, So it's just, encouraging them to do anything. If you want to wrestle as a girl, go ahead. If you want to do gymnastics, go ahead. If you want to play football, go ahead. Not trying to condition anybody into doing a particular thing. Yeah. So yes, it's relative. We've seen progress in some areas, and in some areas we're still, looking to improve.
I hope we get there someday.
I hope so too.
So talking about the sport industry, can you tell us about some untapped areas that you think if we have more business owners in this area or in this sector, it will help move the industry forward?
So there are several. I for one would always push for aquatics, which is swimming and all things water related. Because again, we live in Nigeria. We're surrounded by water, especially in Lagos. Water everywhere, and you don't know how to swim. So yes, and there's not enough of us. Let me give you an example. So I was in a training once for swim instructors by FINA. FINA is the governing body, world governing body for swimming. They came to Lagos, and we had a training. And out of a class of 60, we're just about 4 females.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So you can see that. And we're not even enough. Even male plus female instructors. Imagine the number of people in Lagos and them deciding one day that, okay, they said something is happening in the water. We all need to go and learn how to swim. Do you understand me? So, aquatics definitely. And it's wide. There's so much to do in aquatics, apart from just even teaching swimming. There's a lot to do. There's lifeguarding. There's water safety, which is different from learning how to swim. There's equipment and all that. So yes, definitely. Gymnastics is one as well. Okay. We don't have a lot of gymnastic teachers or gymnastic schools. Everybody seems to be focused on football.
But that seems to be what's bringing the money in, if you get it right.
It's implied. It's implied. It's implied. It's implied. It's what you put attention to grows. Basically. So it's implied. Again, athletics is coming up. We're having quite a number of athletics schools, which also very wide. So it includes not just running, javelin, shot put, long jump, all those other sports. And, so sports industry is viable. Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot we haven't even
a whole lot
gone into in Nigeria.
Absolutely. Yep.
When are we
There's rowing. Yeah. Kayaking.
I don't want to get too emotional about this. Let's just move to another question.
Because it's just like, really, and we have these things, and we have to look at the waterways. We do have these things. Natural resources that we're letting to go to waste. Exactly.
Please, let's talk about technology. I don't want to talk about that. So how can we leverage on technology to help build the industry? Sports industry in Nigeria. So
we know that tech drives everything. Even from Instagram, which is tech. So being able to even advertise your business, being able to be in front of the customer so they see you, they know what you're doing, your websites. And for me specifically, tech helps drive competitive swimming. So, we need to be able to have records of people that have swam. What are their times? So I don't need to be calling anybody. I just need to go to a website and click on Nigerian swimmers and be able to see each person and their times and when they swam and things like that. It's all driven by tech.
Yeah.
Even, I'm sure you've seen all these competitions that they just touch and you just see the time flash up and, whether it's a world record because they matched it already against existing data. It's all tech driven. Right now we still have to start comparing paper like, okay, so who did we say swam when? There's a lot to do. There's a whole lot to do. Of course, tech in sports is very underserviced. Right now, what is being promoted is esports, which is some sort of like gaming and all that on. So
is that worldwide or you think in Nigeria?
I think it's worldwide and it's impacting in Nigeria as well because people are now more aware of esports and what it entails and it's getting airtime. People are talking about it now. But in terms of tech, in terms of sports development, we still have a long way to go.
I agree. I agree. We'll go on a quick break.
Yeah.
We will go on a short break. Please stay with us. I'm still here with Aderoju Ope-Ajayi, founder and lead instructor at Dolphin Swim School. So let's talk about your theme, which is swimming.
Yes.
Okay, so about the sport itself, how long do you need to swim for you to say, okay, I've now done a very good sporting exercise?
So you see, swimming is underrated because you're in the water and you're moving back and forth. Studies have actually shown that 30 minutes of vigorous swimming can burn up to 600, 700 calories.
If there's one thing about swimming, after swimming you're tired.
Exactly. So you do, but you don't feel it when you're swimming because of the water. So the water is buoyant, right? So there's no ache on your muscles. So your joints are protected. Remember, so comparing it to running, there's a lot of effort being put on your joints, like your knees and your ankles and all that. But when you swim, the water has cushioned all those things. So you can get that, long stretch of workout. And then you come out and you're wondering, my God, I feel tired, because again, you even swim to the point that you sweat. So yes, you swim to the point that you sweat, you get hot, but you know that you have worked out. And again, swimming is amazing. It works from top to toe because your heart is working, pumping blood, right? So fueling all your muscles, your head is turning to breathe, your arms are moving down to your fingers are there, your body is rotating. So
basically every part of your body is doing something.
Exactly. It's not isolated. So that's why when you come out, you actually do feel exhausted because you have, because you've burnt quite a bit of calories and your body needs to replace that and replenish that.
Interesting. Please tell us more interesting facts about swimming.
So another interesting fact about swimming is that do you know that the Olympics didn't allow female swimmers until, I think, in the 1970s?
Why? Because they're female.
I don't even know why. I'm like, okay, why did you even put this in? Why? Because there are amazing female swimmers now, that are really doing their best. Another thing about swimming is that you can actually get thirsty while swimming.
Well, I mean, you're not allowed to drink that water.
You're not, definitely. Please do not drink the pool water. But, of course, because you are working, because it's a workout. So, you do get thirsty. So what you're supposed to do, what is advised, is that after working out for a certain number of minutes, you stop, take sips of water, just the same way you do at the gym.
Okay.
But because you're in water, you don't even think about it. You're like, I'm in water now, so... stopping to drink water doesn't just work right. But yes, it's you do get thirsty because you are working out, definitely.
So is it too late? When is it too late to learn how to swim?
Never.
Okay.
Never, because we've taught women 60. In fact, I think my oldest student is 70. Yes.
Wow. And
yes.
how long does it, on the average, does it take for you to become a swimmer?
So we actually work with 10 lessons. So it also depends on a number of factors. There are people who are afraid of water, who have aquaphobia, right? So with those people, we won't put you like the normal, regular, schedule, right? We will start off with you, but 10 lessons, if you have no fear, even if you have fear sometimes and you're able to overcome it, 10 lessons, you're good. 10 lessons might be once a week, or twice a week, or if you like, you put it. But I don't even like people putting it like every day, because you need time to rest. Again, it's just like saying you're going to the gym every day so that you lose weight, right? After a while, you have rest days, right? You have break it up and then So we advise maybe 3 times a week, you have your swimming lessons and all that. After 10 lessons, you should actually be a fish.
I can imagine. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Aderoju. We wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure.
Thanks for watching this episode of Ladies Talking Business about swimming. Do join us this same time next week for another episode. Don't forget to follow us on PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle on YouTube to catch up with our programs. I am Moremi Akano. Bye for now.